I listen to it all the time. I tell all my friends to Smack It Raw.
Following podcast contains mature content. The views and opinions expressed by the host are not necessarily those of the host. Listener discretion is advised. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to your Tuesday night edition of the Smackin It Raw podcast and NXXXT. I am your host, the patron saint of podcast, the Warden Mad Ritter, and I'm here with my co-hosts. She is back. She is host of the She Elite Showcase, Inside the Mind of, In the Crowd, and Story Time with Ms. Katie Kinsey Bay, the reigning, defending, undisputed trick or trivia champion.
Champion. Yeah.
And he is Cruz Delgado, the Sultan of Spitter Swallow, the deadbeat Poppy, my friend Vince.
All I am is Poppy, whatever,
Steve.
like Stefano Sokoa.
Steve.
Esteban. I'm also going by Esteban. That's how you say Steve in Spanish. I'm here, guys, by the way. I'm here.
Like, don't worry, guys. He has 800 names. He's still here.
I have many aliases. For sure.
Katie,
Is there news and rumors?
Well, we got to plug things first, but I'm going to ask you guys to plug the things for me because the Instagram post, for whatever reason, didn't go to my story, so I have to remake that. While I do
just
that,
got tagged in something on Instagram.
Yeah.
Did it go through?
Mm-hmm.
It said it didn't go through, and I don't see it, but okay.
I didn't get tagged in anything, unfortunately.
It's
on Instagram?
It's on your story from 10 minutes ago.
10 minutes ago?
That's what it says on your story. But I only got the notification a minute ago.
Interesting.
Doesn't make any sense.
I don't know.
All right, well, you guys can follow us live, whether it is over at twitch.tv/creationworld, where if you have Amazon Prime and you have Prime Gaming, you get a free sub. You take that free sub after you combine those two accounts, and you give it to your favorite Twitch streamer. Vince, who should their favorite Twitch streamer be?
It should be us. It should be over here at Creation World.
I really thought you were going to say Katie. I'm proud of you. If it's not us, though, me specifically, it should be Katie over at the She Elite Showcase. Or, like Will and Allison, Botchbots and Chair Shots, Rivet City Radio, that whole crew with lots of content for you. Go give them, or whoever your favorite Twitch streamer is, just make sure that free sub doesn't go to waste. Give it to someone that you enjoy watching on Twitch. I hope you enjoy watching us on Twitch, but, give it to somebody over there. You guys could also check us out at youtube.com/creationworld, where it is free to like, to subscribe, to comment. Katie, what does that do?
Boost the algorithm, help find new listeners.
Boost the what now?
The algorithm.
Okay. I don't know. It sounded weird when you said it. It sounded like you said algorithm when you Googled it. Free subs are the best kind and most tasty. There you go, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah,
free subs are the best kind and most tasty. And while it's not really a sub, it's a follow. You can follow youtube.com/creationworld. You can like, subscribe, and comment over there. And then I get attention. And why do I want attention, Katie?
You're a whore.
For your attention, for your likes, for your views, for your comments, for your subscriptions, for your attention. I am a whore, ladies and gentlemen. That's why we do this every week for you. So do all of those things, boost that algorithm, help us find new listeners, share me around like the whore that I am, and flick that bean while you watch. Get notified every time we go live, whether it is every Monday, 15 minutes after Monday Night Raw, every Tuesday, 15 minutes after NXT, every Thursday, 6:30 p.m. Central, 7:30 Eastern for the Creation Conversation, every Friday, 15 minutes after Smackdown. And depending on when Katie's free, Fridays or Sundays, every other one for Getting Off. Again, new episode just dropped. Had a blast talking found footage films, so go check that out. I just listened back to it. It was a really good show. If you guys love horror movies, specifically found footage horror, this is a podcast you don't want to miss. All right. Now,
Yes.
time for me to shut up and Katie tell us about women's wrestling.
Yeah.
So last week on Dynamite, we got big, beautiful women, Chris Statlander and Megan Bayne. Oh, Amazonian goddess Megan Bayne. Hell of a match between those two. Can't deny that. But, so Megan Bayne and Penelope Ford are in cahoots. And so they were beating up Stat. And then Thunder Rosa came out with a chair for the save. It was the most awkward thing I've ever seen on my television. Because she was typically when someone runs down to the ring with a chair, the heels are chicken shit. They bust out of there. They run out of the ring. These two lovely women did not. They kind of just stood there, and Penelope got in the way. It was weird. Yes, Matt.
So I have a theory. That Megan Bayne was supposed to leave the ring, and Penelope was supposed to stay in there. And Megan Bayne then didn't leave the ring, and that made everything awkward for everyone because as everyone's least favorite WWE Hall of Famer and legend, Bully Ray said, Thunder Rosa should have just cracked her in the fucking head with that chair then. At that point, she should have just swung and hit her.
She still should have just swung regardless.
Now she looks stupid. She came in there with a chair, and she's shaking a chair at him, but she's too scared to swing. And Megan Bayne is standing there what are you going to do about it, bitch? Well, Thunder Rosa has a chair. Yeah. So, Thunder Rosa just looked bad all around.
It really did. And what sucks about it is that, some already don't like Thunder Rosa because they think she's hard to work with or it's difficult to work with backstage or whatever. So I don't know if it's a situation where they got into it and Megan Bayne's just well, fuck you, I'm going to make you look bad. Her going into business for herself just in general, or maybe just having a fucking brain fart. But regardless, I hate to agree with Bully Ray, but yeah, Thunder Rosa should have hit her with that fucking chair and crack her skull open or something.
She should have just one of my favorite things when people have a steel chair is they just throw it at the face of other people. She should have just done that to Penelope Ford. That shit would have been so much better. It would have been so entertaining. I would have giggled.
Yeah, I think it was just a situation where once she was there, she didn't know what the fuck to do and she wasn't good enough to call an audible on the fly.
Mm-hmm. Do you know why she didn't know what to do?
Why?
Because they don't have production meetings, so they don't discuss these things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, that's one little Austin theory.
TC and Reeks at best. How are you a major production company, a major wrestling company? You don't have production meetings. That's just fucking weird.
It is.
But I digress. But that besides all of the weird shenanigans that ensued after the fact, Stat and Megan Bayne was a hell of a banger. Dare I say? So
agreed.
You want to talk about Toni Storm and Mariah May?
Oh yeah, that happened on Collision. That was the beginning of Collision. I didn't actually watch Collision. I saw it on Twitter. But Mariah May beat the shit out of Toni Storm, even though we all thought Toni Storm won, and she sent Mariah May off in the sunset. Mariah May wasn't going away easy. Beat her ass up backstage, dragged her to the ramp where the circles are, and hit the Storm Zero basically on Toni on the ramp, and it was cradling her like Renaissance painting
in her bosom,
near her bosom, of course, because that's the whole thing. She looked beautiful, by the way. The hair was hairing, the outfit was outfitting. It was beautiful, and Toni Storm is gorgeous as always as well. But we're getting Mariah and Toni one more time. I don't think they specified when. I'm assuming Revolution, since that's next month. So
makes the most sense for like
Makes more sense.
it's a big blow off match. It's the rubber match. So
This would be their 4th time going against each other. Yeah.
okay, all right, fair enough. Was all this before or like after Tony was talking about how she beat Mariah with her small package?
So yeah, that was on Dynamite, and then
Oh, okay.
Collision.
Got it.
Beginning
Okay,
of
so
Collision is when Mariah came out and started wah, bah, bah, bah.
gotcha. That's what we should have talked, because that promo was probably a promo of the year. Fucking Tony Storm is hilarious. I fucking love her.
Tony Storm deserves everything in the world.
Tony deserves a Tony.
All I learned was that Mariah May can't handle a small package. So a lot of guys out there who didn't think they have a chance now officially have a chance.
Well,
So you're saying there's a chance?
Yeah. She got railed by the small package, according to Tony.
Anything else from the world of women's wrestling?
No, that was it.
Other than internet nerds being internet nerds?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no. Are we talking about what we saw in the cafeteria chat this morning?
Oh, because God forbid Asuka gives her opinion on her own fucking match. Am I right,
Yeah.
ladies? Come on, like.
I am tired.
Straight the hell.
Listen, you get on the internet and you say, this is just my opinion. And you can have an opinion. No one's saying you can't have an opinion. You can have an opinion. The issue isn't that you have an opinion. It's the way you present your opinion. If your opinion is, you know what, WWE
is wrong.
Well, no, not necessarily. Like, if your opinion is, listen, WWE matches aren't for me, okay, that's fine. If you want to share it in that context and light, okay, that's fine, but you don't really need to, because you don't need to comment on shit that you don't care about. But, if you feel the need to be like, hey, you know what, WWE matches aren't for me, okay, fine, that's cool. But when you criticize a woman in a way to make yours like, oh, well, if this happened in Japan and Stardom, then maybe this could have been a good match, but it's just WWE hard cam flop bullshit. It's how you express your opinion that's the issue, not that you have one. You're being negative and detrimental and mean for no fucking reason to someone who is out there trying to entertain people. And if it didn't entertain you, okay, fine. Then move the fuck on. Or just say, hey, you know what, that wasn't for me. And then move the fuck on. But don't be a fucking asshat about it to the women that are working, because I don't see you stepping in a ring and performing or putting on better matches. And I hate this narrative of, oh, this wrestling that I watch is better than the wrestling that you watch. You don't hear me coming out here every week and saying, oh, I enjoy WWE because WWE is better than all of the wrestling out there. I may make jokes here and there about certain shit, but I'm not sitting here telling you that my preferred wrestling is better than the wrestling that you prefer, because we don't do that here. All right? And neither should you. And if you do, you're an asshole.
Okay, at least don't do it while the camera's filming.
Vince,
the camera's rolling.
Quiet. We don't do that here. All right. Let's kick off the show.
Yeah.
Here it is. Stephanie Vaquer defeats Carmen Petrovich. Pretty good match. They had a good time, but not at all nearly important as to what happened after the match, because after the match, Giulia just decides that she's going to come down and get in the ring with Stephanie. They've been cordial. They've been friends. They've been hanging out. But Stephanie keeps looking at her belt, and I think she got a little sick of that shit. So she's just like, the fuck do you want to do about this? And Stephanie's like, I want a title for title match. And Ava made it happen. So, at Roadblock, we are getting the NXT Women's Champion versus the NXT North American Champion in a champion versus champion, title versus title match, which means there will be one champion, 2 belts, if there's a clean outcome. Spit or swallow?
I have strong feelings about this. I'm going to gargle it. And the reason I'm going to gargle it, it's because I'm not really looking forward to double champions. I want Giulia versus Stephanie Vaquer. Obviously, we all want that. But, like, is one of them getting called up already? Or is this going to end in a non-finish? Like, if they both stay in NXT, what does that mean for the person that loses both titles?
We have to watch and see. Like,
don't give me that Rock. Enjoy the Rock, the ride that I'm taking you on and stuff. Like,
absolutely enjoy the ride that you're getting taken on. But no, I just hate the narrative that because someone loses the title, they're getting called up. Like, that's the first thing we all, not we all, but a lot of people jump to is like, oh, Roxanne's losing the title, she's getting called up, and kind of yes, but not really. She's still down there. Like, yeah, she's in the elimination chair, but she's also still on NXT. She's not called up. So, like, I just hate the idea of, like, oh, she's getting called up because she's losing her belt. Like, there's plenty of other shit she can do. Yeah. She can try and win the belt back. There's still Jordynn Grace. There's still Zarya. There's still women's tag team title.
No,
there's a bunch of other shit that she can do in feud where it doesn't have to mean, oh, because one of them lost their title, they're automatically moving up to the main roster. And honestly, at this point, I don't think either Raw or SmackDown needs more women.
No. Well, that's kind of like my point. It's like if they're not getting called up, and like I don't know, do we really want to see one of them with both the titles?
Yes.
I don't think
Stephanie Vaquer. Like, I want to see Stephanie Vaquer with both titles, 100%.
Katie, what do you think? Like I'm gargling it just because I'm gonna wait and see how this shit plays out, but I'm not really liking what I'm seeing.
I hate double champions, and I have been adamant about that for many fucking years. Granted, one of them being a double champion is probably a lot better than a lot of recent double champions we've had in the past.
Yeah, that's true.
But especially with NXT's women's division, like, which is so stacked, you don't need one woman holding your main women's title and your women's mid-card title.
Agreed.
Like, now whoever wins could do the Keith Lee thing. Keith Lee relinquished the NA title when he won the world title. Now, I feel like that would just be silly at that point. But if that were the case, that's fine. But I'm very excited for the match because I love both women, and both women are, that's going to be match of the night, point blank, period.
Agreed.
I just don't like double champions, and I never have.
Okay. No, and I'm with her, and that's the main thing. It's like the ideal outcome would be for Stephanie Vaquer to be the winner, get the NXT title, and then her do the Keith Lee thing. Because if Giulia just wants the North American title and then she does the Keith Lee thing, that's like a waste of fucking time. Like also like they want to do this match, but I don't think they needed to rush to this match. I'm not complaining that we're getting the match.
They're not. That's the thing. Like, yes, we're going to get the match, but we are on the road to what in NXT?
Roadblock.
Stand and deliver.
Oh, well,
you're both correct. You're both correct. But the roadblock is on the road to Stand and Deliver. This is probably setting up for something at Stand and Deliver, which is why enjoy the fucking car ride to Stand and Deliver, Vince. And see what happens.
I'm car sick already.
He said, "I'm sick. I gotta go home."
Okay. Don't pull over. Next rest stop, please.
We had a nice little father-daughter chit-chat. Ariana's talking to Dad. They're having a good time. Lola comes up and she's like, "Hey, so I want to cross the border to TNA and do some things over there." And Ariana's like, "Well, I don't know. We can think about it." Satino immediately like, "Yeah, no, that's cool." And Ariana's like, "Shut the fuck up, Dad. I don't really like her." Lola, feeling the negative vibes, is like, "How about fuck you, let's fight. Unless, nobody in your family ever taught you how to fight."
What?
Right in front of her father, which is crazy. Yeah, no. For those of you who are listening audioly, we were all doing the snake or the python,
the cobra.
The cobra.
Wow, you named every other type.
I mean, I just said snake or python. I didn't say anaconda.
You said
because listen, I love Santino. He ain't got no anaconda.
That's why it's a cobra.
Then Lola defeats Ariana quite handily.
Yeah.
It's good to see Lola Vice back. Where the fuck has she been? I feel like she might have shown up on the milk carton at some point because she's been AWOL, MIA.
What happened to
on
that
NXT
girl?
TV. Yeah, whatever happened to her. Yeah, shout out Young Kings Wrestling. But yeah, happy she's back. I don't know what they're gonna do with her. I don't know what story is left for her because after Miss Parker beat her, she just kind of disappeared.
Well, I mean, she was eyeing up Stephanie Vaquer a few weeks ago.
What?
What I need to see. That's what I need. I need Lola Vice versus
That
Stephanie
is
Vaquer.
Clash of the Cakes. Fucking, what are we on? 4, 5?
Probably
Those are some empanadas for sure.
Clash of the Empanadas.
Yeah.
Katie, Lola, Ariana,
Lola.
She's
Just
still
the
thinking,
hell
she's
to
still
Lola.
thinking about empanadas. She's still
Lola.
thinking about empanadas.
No, the whole thing gets a swallow. It's fun. I love the fact that we're getting more of Ariana and Santino like on screen together. It's fun. They're fun. They have a great time. Santino's still pronouncing things wrong. Got his
Nothing wrong
OG
with
music back.
Yes.
Later
I
in the
pop
night.
for that.
Ariana just being the gem of a human that she is. She's so precious. Lola kicking ass. I mean, what's not like to like, you know?
Okay. All right. So I know how both of you are going to feel about this next segment. However,
Right.
I am choosing to take an optimistic look at things. So while we may not be fans of the person, the concept is still cool. And as Young Kings Wrestling said, who are also not fans of this person, it doesn't mean he can't wrestle. Moose handily defeated Lexis King in a match. Actually, quite a little bit of back and forth. Retained his TNA X-Division Championship.
Yes.
And then Oba Femi came out, who also showed up in TNA to deal with Moose. And basically said, let's find out who's the best. And you'll never guess what kind of match they want to have, guys. Champion versus champion. Title for title.
But it's not happening at Roadblock. It's only
Why?
for the NXT title at Roadblock. Ava said it.
Ava said that it's only for the NXT title.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And the graphic
So-
only said NXT title. So I think from what I understood in the cafeteria chat was that it's spoilers. So like that stuff got announced in spoilers. So like in like a week or two or whatever with TNA, they're gonna
Or even
then
this week.
adjust it. Yeah, this week they're gonna adjust it and be like, no, we're gonna also put the X Division title on the line. So it could still very much happen, but tonight on NXT, it's only for the NXT title.
But that's
Or-
not what Oba and Moose agreed to in the ring. So why
Well,
would if
yes,
they
yes.
adjusted down
As
the road, why would Ava?
Stated numerous times, Oba doesn't make the rules. She does.
Listen,
She
there's-
has told Oba Femi, it's like, you don't make matches, I make matches. So maybe it's like, fuck you, I'm gonna make
The
match I want.
ruler makes the matches, God damn it.
Also, who's to say we don't get this match at Roadblock and then we get the exact same match for the other title at whatever's fucking Sacrifice or whatever the hell their next pay-per-view is in TNA? You know?
Possibly.
It's Googleable. Let me get on that.
Well, I know Sacrifice is going to be in El Paso.
I need Ava Rain to understand something real quick. And I love Ava. I need her to understand something real quick, right? Has she ever seen Moana? Moana made it very clear. She is the daughter of the chief. She is not a princess. She doesn't rule shit.
She's the final boss of NXT.
She's
Did
not.
you really just say, has she ever seen Moana?
Has she ever seen Moana?
Do you
Yeah.
know who
Have
her
you
dad is?
ever watched one of your father's movies? You are not.
Have you
the
ever watched
princess.
your dad be Maui?
Just because he's the high chief doesn't mean you have. No, you're just the daughter of the high chief.
Whoa.
He's the
You're
ruler.
right, it's Sacrifice, March 14th.
Okay, yeah. So March 14th. That's a week after Roadblock. Whatever. So we'll get one at Roadblock, probably
I
one
think
at Sacrifice.
That's the week of Roadblock, actually. The weekend of Roadblock. No.
I'm gonna start
well-
telling Zoe that Ava Rain is Moana.
I mean, you could.
Yeah.
Well, next
Okay.
week is Tuesday, March 4th.
Yes.
So, and you said the 14th.
Yes.
So that math does not math.
Yes, it does.
Oh,
In
as
2
in
weeks' time. In 2 weeks' time.
Oh, so then yeah, it does math.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm.
I'm a mathematician.
Okay. Let's calm down.
It's one of the very few skills I have.
Let's calm down and let's
So-
move on.
Well, we're gonna step back because on the note of champion versus champion, which is going to happen title for title with the women, Jordynn Grace came out and was basically like, you guys can do whatever the fuck you want, but at some point you're both gonna have to stand across the ring from me and deal with me. And you both felt the change in NXT and the earth shift and quake and, you know, shake and get wet when I stepped into NXT.
Well,
All those things she said. Roxanne Perez, who clearly is not officially called up because she showed up down here, comes out and she's like, how about you shut the fuck up because I'm going to be Roxanne 2 belts. And then continue to talk shit. And Jordynn Grace cheap shot at Roxanne. She popped her rocks mid-sentence.
I mean, she shouldn't have been talking shit. Like, I don't make the rules.
Yeah. No. I'm liking this. I'm gonna be a fan of this just because if this is the final thing that Roxanne Perez does on NXT, and that's a big if because we don't know how long she's gonna stick around in NXT. Her versus Jordynn Grace are gonna slap. Obviously, we've already seen that last year, so it's gonna be great. I'm looking forward to it. Mega Sabrina Carpenter is gonna beat the fuck out of Roxanne Perez. It's gonna be great.
I mean,
Yeah.
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 I'm trying to think. I feel like Roxanne will probably have a match at Stand and Deliver and make that her last, like, hoorah. So they might drag this out another month and some change.
Yeah. They can totally do it.
I feel like the route to go is the Johnny Gargano, Tommaso Ciampa, Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens route with Cora and Roxanne at Stand and Deliver as Roxanne said.
Yes, I very much want to see that match, especially if Cora Jade is sticking around in NXT a little bit longer, which she should. I want her to be North American champion at the very least. Ever since she came back, I don't know what it is about
Chicago's
her.
own Cora Jade.
Chicago's own Cora Jade. Never forget. But ever since she came back at the Chicago CW premiere, I don't know what it is about her. She's been hitting different. I'm all for it.
It's like she's grown artificially.
Yeah. One could say, yes.
Since there are two reasons why you think.
She returned and she just seemed bigger.
Like a big, like bigger aura, bigger attitude, bigger
Chin
star.
up, tits out.
Watch for the shoe.
Something like that, yeah.
So your boy Trick Williams, Katie.
Whoa! Hey, he's mad. He's pissed at the world.
My notes say Trick is upsetty spaghetti.
He's depresso espresso.
He is pissed off about all you marks online talking shit about how he hasn't won a match in 2025 and let Eddie Thorpe whip his ass twice. Javon, he's bouncy, he's nice, he's happy. He comes in, he's like, hey, don't let the haters get to you. And he's like, the fuck you just say to me? Shut the fuck up. You can't even smile. And I'm like, dude, chill out. Like, he's just trying to be a friend. You're over here snapping on him. And Javon's like, oh, I can't smile, huh? Well, I can beat your ass. What do you want to do about it? You gonna get in my face? Come on, let's go. And they were about to go at it. And then Ricky Saints shows up. And he's like, hey, I'm Ricky Saints. And Trick's like, yeah, I know. And just leaves, disrespectful as shit, for no reason.
He gave a fist bump. It's not total disrespect, but disrespect was there.
It was there was some disrespect there. Ricky's like, why the fuck is everyone so mad around here all the time? Like, and I agree. Why? Like, okay, yes, you have not won a match in 2025. Fair. But
listen.
Why are y'all so mad?
Trick
Why
Williams is
so
going through a
serious?
lot.
Listen,
Okay? When people go through some shit and they can't express themselves correctly,
Hi, Logan.
what's up, Logan?
they internalize it and then they lash out, no pun intended. They lash out at the people around them.
What a legend. So completely sidetracking from this.
I'm going
I
to ignore
just
your
felt-
metaphor, and we're going to move on.
Nice. Okay, it's completely random, but ever since they showed the new name for Ricky Starks as Ricky Saints, I've been singing to myself every time he's on TV, every time he does a promo, whatever. In my mind, internally, I'm singing, "Oh, when the Saints go marching
Dwayne.
in." I just be singing it. I'm sorry, like it hits in my head, and I just like internally sing it.
It hits in my head.
Yeah, so that's why when you're like, "Oh, Ricky walked in," I was like, "So that when the Saints goes marching in to the locker room."
Jesus.
So, remember how we used to talk about how NXT is high school?
Yeah, it still is.
Well, we just about got a high school bus fight
Yeah,
between Jada Parker and Salami Jordynn.
hey, Miss Walker.
And then Jada comes out and basically does an interview where she's like, you know what? Fuck Salami Jordynn. I'm sick of her shit.
And they're going to duke it out next week.
And they're going to
Talk
duke it out
about
next
another
week.
person that's upsetting spaghetti for no reason. Kalani Jordan.
Salami Jordynn. Please say her government name.
My apologies.
You know who was oddly absent from NXT this week?
Who?
The entirety of Fatal Attraction. You know why, Katie?
Fatal influence, but okay, why?
Because JC Jane is a fake ass bitch.
I had to find a way.
Even when she's not on the card, you find a way to make that.
Speaking of fake ass bitches, No Quarter Catch Crew lose to the Hardy Boyz in a non-title match that was completely pointless, other than the fact that Fraxium, who are now officially calling themselves Fraxium, which, listen, if you're going to do that, you owe Katie royalties.
For real.
If you were going to take the name that she came up for you and put it on TV and probably make shirts and shit off it, Katie needs money for that, or at least like a mention.
Yeah.
On WWE TV. Shout out to Katie. Something.
Yeah.
Shout out to Sheely Showcase would be dope. But you know, Fraxium, I've always said you're some fake ass bitches. I don't like you as a tag team. You guys call yourself the best tag team in the world today. I'm bored as shit of your title run. I want you to lose those belts. I don't care how flippy you are in the fucking ring. Please break the fuck up, especially if you're not going to give Katie her due and steal shit from her.
I would say they're arguably the best current tag team active in all of wrestling.
You can say whatever you want. They did call the Hardy Boyz the greatest tag team of all time, and their plan is to have a match to determine who the greatest tag team of all time is. And the way they do that is Santino comes out and makes a match for just the TNA. I thought we were going to go title for title again. I was like, Jesus fucking Christ. Everyone in NXT is going to be holding the TNA titles.
Oh, man. It's AEW all over again.
Basically.
Yeah.
No, except now we're taking the X-Division title and we're taking the tag titles. And, you know,
Oh, yeah.
I'm not going to say because I don't want to ruin Katie Day. But anyway, the Chin possibly losing her title.
Wait, she's not champion.
She's not champion? I thought she was
I thought it was
She
Masha
is.
Slam. Is she? Did she beat Masha Slamovich?
It's Googleable, I'm pretty sure.
It's not relevant enough for us to spend.
Well, now I need to know.
It's been a worse day for No Quarter Catch Crew because not only did they take the L to the Hardys, but then they got jumped by unnamed faction of random dudes backstage.
Yeah.
And we just saw them leaving the arena again post beatdown.
Yeah. They just barely miss them. Barely.
Katie, keep looking because this next part is for Vince.
Okay.
Vince, the fuck did I tell you?
Listen, man.
No. The fuck did I tell you?
Look, me and Luca are on the same page.
In the family. There are no problems in the family. Tony gave Stacks all of the props for standing up and doing it. And then when Stacks even spoke up and said, hey, you're fucked up. Do you really think this is good? And Luca's like, hey, that's the Don. He's like, no. He's the underboss, and he gets a stay, which means you and TC are wrong, because if the Don says there's not a line being stepped, then he is not a habitual line stepper. You created issues where there were no issues.
Listen, man, I don't know about you, but the Don kind of came back a little soft. That's not the Don I know. The Don I know would have laid down the law. Look what he did to Santos.
Say it to his face.
The Don came back a little soft. Needs to go back in the oven. Needs to go back in the oven. That crust isn't crispy enough.
He came back soft. He's immediately going after Sean Spears and putting his title on the line. He came back soft.
If you look, watch him lose that title because he came back soft.
Yes, Katie.
Masha's still champion. Sorry.
Thank God.
Thank God.
That I'd be happy to see. Like the double champion versus Masha Slamovich to make a triple champion.
Well, I mean, Masha's fighting Cora Jade at Sacrifice for the title, so.
Oh, that's gonna be so good.
That's already been announced.
If they put the belt on Cora, and then the tag belts on Fraxium, and the NXT X-Division title on fucking Oba, like that's insanity.
Oh.
The internet is gonna lose their shit about TNA,
Yes.
and they're
gonna be like, TNA's in the mud.
All you idiots! I can't wait to watch you lose your fucking minds.
I think the only one that isn't at risk of losing this title would be Joe Hendry. Like I think he's the only one not at risk at losing the title. But the Hardys aren't losing the titles to Fraxium. It's the fucking Hardys. If anything, WWE is going to put them over.
Katie, as a fellow Italian, because that's what the fuck we're talking about, how do you feel about the state of the family right now?
The family is there. The family is fine.
Thank you.
Listen.
Thank you.
As a man that's seen plenty of on-screen families fall apart in front of him on weekly television, I can tell you they're going down a path they don't want to go down.
Okay, that's fair, except a lot of the families that you've seen fall apart all fell apart because they had a shitty head of the family, and this one does not.
Not all of them.
Tony D'Angelo was not going to win Worst Father of the Year repeatedly.
I mean, Mommy was in the terrible head of the family, and shit still fell apart. Why? Because someone overstepped, like Stacks and Finn, and now shit is falling apart with the Judgment Day. But that's neither here nor there.
The family is fine.
Rhea outgrew the family. That had the Judgment Day. That had nothing to do.
Maybe the Don's outgrown the family.
Okay. We are short on time. We need to end this. Chelsea showed up for a massage, ended up with a tag match against Piper and
you mean Zarya and Sol Ruka, but yes.
Zarya and Sol Ruka, yeah. Her and Piper versus Zarya and Sol Ruka next week. Yay. Tag team match, main event. Ricky Starks picks up the win with the Rochambeau on Wes Lee. Spit or swallow.
Fucking love the Rochambeau.
The Saints came marching into another victory.
It's his first victory in NXT, but okay. His first match in NXT, but okay.
Another victory in general.
All right.
So swallows. NXT, spit or swallow?
Swallow.
I'll swallow it.
All right. Katie, where can they find you?
You can follow me on Twitter, KatieWrestling13, link to my about everything She Elite Showcase, twitch.tv/She Elite Showcase, and youtube.com/She Elite Showcase, typically Thursday, 6 p.m. Eastern-ish.
Vince?
I don't got anything going on. Don't follow me anywhere. Just watch me here.
That's crazy.
Wow. Okay, well, you guys can follow me on X at Matt Riddle, ZMATTRIDDR for your wrestling content, at Getting Off for your horror content, and everywhere else. TikTok, Threads, Instagram, and Blue Sky at Smackin It Raw for both your wrestling and horror content on those platforms. For Miss Katie Kinsey Bebe and SES Vince, Cruz Delgado, I am the patron saint of podcasting, the Warden Matt Ritter, and this has been your Tuesday edition of the Smackin It Raw podcast and XXXT. And on a final note, Rhea Ripley could have beat Finn Balor's ass if she wanted to. Good night, everybody.
True.
She should have.